Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to hell. So, yeah, this is Daggerfall. Check it out. We so I've decided to hate this game even more than I already thought. There I was. There's your skybox, by the way. I actually played this game for 3 hours off camera last night to get ourselves to the point from when we have already joined and ranked up in the Knights and the Fighters Guild. For some reason, I could never get the Mages Guild to actually get me to rank up. Let me summarize what each of those playthroughs involved. Going to a dungeon, going through a dungeon, getting lost in the dungeon, getting the item in the dungeon, leaving the dungeon, going to the next dungeon, getting lost in the dungeon, getting the item in the dungeon, going to the next dungeon, getting lost in the dungeon. Repeat that a few times. There you go. That's all the gameplay you missed. By the way, it was the same dungeon. No, I don't mean literally. I mean, it's the same dungeon. Same tile set, same design philosophy, same jigsaw approach. I actually did something just for the funsies of it. I want to show it to you really quick. But unfortunately, enemies occasionally varied. Like one of the dungeons had werewolves, which were pretty bad. Those sucked. I died a few times in there. How much of this game was manually designed? That's a good question, actually. Anyways, rather than answering it, so I also discovered durability while I was doing that. That was fun. So I had to repair my ebony dagger, which is now repaired. Let's see, what else did I discover? There was something else. I actually don't remember what. Yeah, the ebony dagger is kind of crazy. Oh yeah, I discovered some magic items. Check it out. I don't actually know what these are. Item powers unknown. But I found a holy dagger and a short bow that are magical. Isn't that cool? Yep, that's a thing that happened. Anyways, so I've decided that I might hold off on continuing to advance my way through the guilds. Because the guild quests, well, you've already seen the guild quests. Like, you've seen it. So what we're going to do instead of continuing to quest it up is we're going to pull this up, we're going to check that. We're going to find a general goods seller, which I think is actually literally this building I'm staring at, which is probably why I saved right over here. Let me see if we can sell this stuff to him. We cannot. Cool. We'll try here. I'm just gonna go down the list because I need to sell some of the stuff in my wagon. Hey, that wagon's a godsend. Holy crap! Where's the brickwork negative? Okay, sure. So there's the wall. I honestly feel like that makes my point for me, to be quite frank. I like this music too. It's from Legion, if you're wondering, specifically. Yeah, do the same dungeon like 10 times, Shirley Palmer, and then talk to me about brickwork. Town actually looks fine. I'll actually give you that. The interiors are but the town itself is actually fine. And that is why it is only one negative for brickwork so far. Nobody wants to buy my crap. Whatever. I'm gonna give up on this for now. How to improve this game and not have the brickwork negative be present? Okay, so I'm gonna find Todd Howard and I'm gonna slap him until the stupid comes out of him. And then we're gonna make an RPG that doesn't have no depth or design to it. Like, okay, I come down pretty hard on procedural generated stuff. A stance that I'm very firm in. But it's worth noting that procedurally generated is a tool like anything else, right? There's procedurally generated within ranges. There's procedurally generated with like, how do I put this into words? There are ways to make things that are procedurally generated that have design to them. I know this because I've played Diablo 3. So, being able to actually, like, that's just one example, right? There's plenty of examples of this kind of concept in multiple games. I mean, Minecraft was another one that was mentioned earlier. Minecraft has patterns to it. And yes, he was brought in for Redguard. He did work on this game, by the way. I checked that. I don't know exactly what his role was on this one, because they don't like to share that info for some stupid reason. But yeah, and roguelikes, too, tend to have procedurally generated stuff that tends to work. But there's still some design to it. No, someone earlier... Yeah, Dwarf Fortress, that's actually a great example. Diablo 1's procedural generation was very this. And I kind of mean that as an insult. It wasn't great. It was essentially true random. Which is why sometimes you'd see a floor in Diablo 1 where the exit, the way to go down, was literally 5 steps away from the exit to go up. That's just a thing that would happen, because it was random. It was true random. Diablo 2 started adding patterns to it. I use the word patterns. I actually don't remember what it's called. But you know what I mean, right? It's when, instead of being literally any randomness, it's randomness within a range. It's randomness with these type of jigsaw pieces, and this piece can only connect to this piece on this side, and you get the idea. It takes more work, takes more design, and tends to lead to generally better dungeon design. Just like the examples we were just talking about. It has more design to it. But let me get to my overall point here. No offense to anybody who likes this game, of course, but I had just this revelation last night as I was doing the same dungeon for the 18th time. That's an exaggeration. It was only like 8 times. This is Ultima again. Ultima 1. No, hear me out for a second, okay? So, for those of you who don't remember, Ultima has like 20 towns and like 40 dungeons. Except it actually only has 8 towns and 1 dungeon. Sound familiar? It's the same vibe. It's even going for the same thing. It is, to put this as nicely as I can, this is 1996, J Balmer. This is a post-Chrono Trigger world. I don't want to hear it. To put this into simple terminology, yeah, look at all the peasants. Look at how many peasants, how many peasant is here. No, but for real, this is emulating, I don't know the right word for this. It's not depth. This is emulating scope, right? For those of you around when Daggerfall was new, which raise my hand on, this map was considered a selling point. It's so huge, it's gargantuan, and look at all those towns. This was a selling point. Look at all these towns. There's not that many towns in this game that are actually unique. There's no dungeons. Well, that's not true. There are very few dungeons that are unique, right? Yeah, this is an absolute... Whoa, you can zoom in. I didn't actually know that. This is an absolutely, honestly huge amount of space, right? But there's nothing here. It's a good question. What are temples? Where am I? Where am I? Let's go on a journey to whatever this is. So this is what a temple looks like. It's a town, as you can see, with a temple in the middle of it. Temple of Kaironeth. Or Kainoreth. How do you pronounce that? Oh yes, speaking of temples, I had to go into a temple earlier because I contracted stomach rot. And this is what the temples are like. This is how they greet you in the temples. I feel like they're trying a bit of a new marketing spiel at the temples to try and ensure that more people are invested in going to the perky. I mean to have the services, to purchase the services of the temples. It gets worse, by the way. All the temples are like this, but in fact, I think this is near identical to the temple I went to back in town. Yeah, also that, I don't know. There's two of them. Why are there two naked women in the temple? You know, everyone's just alt-tabbing immediately. Oh god, naked women! But, like, for real, this is just... Okay, sure. Yeah, that doesn't apply, Star Wars. Anyways, what happens in fantasy temples? Well, I went to a fantasy temple to cure my stomach rot. How did they cure my stomach rot? Oh god. Anyways. Apparently all of them do Star Wars, because all of the temples have that. So yeah, that's a town. You see those towns? These are the random towns. There's nothing here. And this is my point. Now, I'm not going to ding it for that in specific, but I'm saying this to explain one of the reasons why I have never really felt invested in trying Daggerfall. This is why I push back against things like procedural generate. This is why I push back against things like this kind of lack of design. I'm sorry, I don't know how a better way to put it. I prefer design. I suppose you could argue that's a preference, but as I just mentioned, even amongst things that tend to have randomness or procedural generation to them, there can and often is still design to it, right? Instead of this, none of these towns are distinct. Again, I shouldn't say none. Extremely few of these towns are distinct. Extremely few of the dungeons are distinct. Extremely few of the NPCs are distinct. Like, it's funny to me, because this is so clearly the point, and this is why I made that comment earlier. Like, here, let me hit auto run in a direction. Doesn't matter what direction it is, because that's the point, right? This really is Starfield. And yes, I do kind of mean that an insult, although I don't think this game is as bad as Starfield. But like, there's nothing here. There's nothing here. This is... I just value manual design too much. Like, one of the things I love so much about Subnautica is that map was manually crafted. That they sat down and designed the map rather than giving you a random map. Another good example of this. My SSD now! Oh, there it is. We found the mountain. There's the mountain. It's this right here. See? We found the mountain. Okay, now that we've conquered the mountain. But, like, oh, hang on. Let's actually go south. Let's go straight south. See if we can hit the water. Starfield should have had good game design. That's true. But, like, I mean, Morrowind obviously has manual design to it, which I do favor. And I've actually played a lot of Morrowind and Oblivion and blah, blah, blah. Excuse me. There's another game I was going to use an example of. Satisfactory is another example of a game that has, you know, a manually crafted map that people sat down and decided what should go where. Now, I'm not completely against random generation, as I've said like 3 times, just to really make that point clearer. Let's see you around, Jay Palmer. Now, I've been thinking about this because I've been debating how much of a negative this deserves. And this is going to be the strange part. I don't think it inherently deserves any negatives, if that makes any sense. Instead, what we're going to do, and this is kind of the policy I decided on last night, after doing the same dungeon for the 5th time, is we're going to make a thing so that every time, as I'm doing content, right, guild stuff for the 3 guilds, or I guess the temples of 4 guilds, or trying to do... Yeah, that's another good example there, right? Or trying to do the main quest, right? Every time it forces me to go do another randomized crap section that sucks, that will be when we will then ding it again. I feel like that's the fairest way we could review something like this, because I can't possibly review every dungeon in the game, right? That's not feasible. I mean, I could literally look up how many dungeons there are, and then give a negative for each, and then I could look up every every town in the game and give a negative for each, but that, first of all, that's really mean. Second of all, that would pretty much guarantee this game would get the worst score of any game ever. And I don't think that's actually applicable, because so much of that stuff isn't there in any real sense, right? There's no reason to go to those dungeons. There's no reason to go to those towns. So that's the logic. And I'm kind of talking this out to get people's opinions, too. The logic here is everything it gives me reason to do, like the guild stuff, the MSQ stuff, I will go ahead and ding. Everything else might as well not actually exist. Yeah, exactly. We didn't review all 1,000 planets in Starfield, right? Because there's no reason to do. There's nothing there. And so I'm not going to review all, I don't know how many dungeons. Let's look it up. Let's Google it here. Let's leave that on auto run for a second. How many dungeons are in this? Good morning, Evo. I do hope you are doing as well as you can be. Alright, here we go. This is it. Oh, it's not going to tell me. Yeah, imagine reviewing every planet in No Man's Sky. What's the point of that? There's no... It's ignoring the obvious ridiculousness. It's legitimately unfair. And would make No Man's Sky the worst view reviewing game of all time. Okay, here we go. Okay, there are 4,229 dungeons in the game. There are 4,400 small towns, 1,532 temples, 5,090 towns, and it doesn't give me a number, but it looks like about 20-ish major cities, and then about 100-ish other cities. And then there's several places of interest, which I'm assuming are related to quests. So... I knew someone had actually figured this out. So if I gave this game negative 15,251, whoops, sorry. Why so many? We just finished talking about that. But the long and the short of it is Bethesda. So where's Daggerfall? Daggerfall. Here we go. So let's say we played this game for, I don't know, 200 hours. I don't know. We'll give it like 50 pluses to story, just because it's just got an extremely good story. And then negative 15,821. All right, so that's negative. Oh, hang on. Let me double check something real quick. 251. So that's the golden number of negative 44,671. Assuming the story is very good in this game. Now, it doesn't break math. That actually... The system accommodates this kind of stuff now. So I think it's slightly worse than Secret of the Stars. No, you get the point. All right, so where'd we end up here? Oh, hey, we're about halfway between the temple and the coast. Holy crap. Okay, let's go all the way to the coast. Let's just go here really quick. Oh, we're south. There it is, south. Let's see what happens when we hit the ocean. Yeah, FF14 1.0 has nothing on this. padding negatives can I give? Well, once again, that's an interesting question. Because there's not a lot of point in doing any of this. Like, there's no reason to do any... Oh, there actually is an ocean. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm actually shocked. Look. It's right up there. Do you see it? I legitimately didn't think we'd run into the ocean. It's a shame it's nighttime, but whatever. Yeah, I'm assuming it's going to be a collisional. Laugh if it isn't. Give me a minute. I can only run so fast, okay? That's a good question. How many padding negatives do we give this? I mean, we can just give it a triple and walk away from it. That kind of feels fair. Because once again, the game goes out of its way to discourage you from doing all this stuff. Like, there really is... It's possible, for example, to walk from town to town on the map. It's essentially impossible to get to dungeons on the map. Yeah, no kidding, Roto. Okay, here it is. The ocean. The ocean. This is it. This is it. Any second. Now. Oh. Oh, time to cross the lake. What do you want to bet? What do you want to bet? There's no way I could actually do this. But, what do you want to bet we could actually just cross the ocean, across the lake right here? Yeah, no, I think we could just cross the lake. Oh my god, we've barely gone anywhere. Okay, so anyways, moving on. Okay, so while I was doing the dungeons and ranking myself up through the three guilds, I did happen to get a letter from me. There it is. Dear Runner, my eyes and ears abroad say you are interested in the fate of a certain letter. Any emperor should be not so careless, nor should a queen. You really should come visit me in Castle Waycrest. I have some most interesting tidbits I'm sure you'd enjoy hearing. So now we have to find Castle Waycrest. MSQ, can you believe it? Neither of those are Waycrest. Okay, that's actually bad. Is that another zone? Oh, it's way over here. Oh my god. How long do you think that trip would be? Hang on. Let's sing it. How long would that be? 99 days. Okay, hold on. Before we commit to 3 months of my life, Jesus Christ. Okay, so I kind of want to try and advance the other MSQ, the one that's here. I think is here. Because she mentioned we could go check out the castle, and don't mention that we know her, right? So I'm guessing that means we can do that and maybe progress the other MSQ. And if not, well, there's this thing called UESP.wiki or whatever it is. So we'll figure it out. Is it not here? Oh, it's further east. There it is. There's the castle. What-ho. And I have to not mention I know what's-her-face. Or else they'll be like, Ring. Nice castle. Hello. What do you want now, runner? Where's the gem stores? Yep, speaking of which, hang on, since we're probably about to hear a new music scene. Let's turn the music back up. Honestly, there's really only one song I hate in this game, which is why I keep turning the music off. It's this song. And this is why. Anyways. All are free to petition His Highness at this time. Do not stray from the audience chamber unless you have a real blessing to do so. Always speak politely to the king and queen, and cast no spells. Do you agree with these terms? Yes. Okay. A lot of people here, actually. So, question. Why does the women armor look like that? Don't answer that question. Well, there's the king and queen. Let's save before we do this. I'll talk to her first. My husband's poor grandmother is rumored to be very frail health. A once brilliant mind utterly destroyed. She locked herself in her castle and experiments in magical studies with no regard for safety. My reward is a magical fancy armband. The hell do you want, runner? Yeah, switch to polite. Things people work. Tell me about. Any news, Your Majesty? Barbina Gearsmith got the Mage's Guild to open her trick box. That was me. I did that quest. No, I didn't accept that quest. Hey, you're that loathsome runner. Why am I talking to you anyways? Dude. This is an MSQ? Oh god, and now she won't give the quest. Oh. Time to kill the queen. Okay, so there's a reason I say it right before I talk to him. Fine. We're looking for Rothgarian Mountains. This time we'll get magical holy water. Hang on, hang on. This time we'll get a magical mace. It's just Groundhog Day this a little bit. A magical kite shield. Ah, shields are crap. Yeah, what else we got? A magical ring. Ooh, that might be useful. Let's do that. Rothgarian Mountains. The name of her castle is Shedungent. Shedungent. 150 days. Jesus Christ. Okay, so this is MSQ. Okay. I'm gonna be honest. If you hadn't told me that, I would not have known that. Okay, so Shedungent. Is not here. It's a different thing. Okay. Yep, there it is. Rothgarian Mountains. Shedungent. 41 days. Let's do it. Oh, there. Here comes the rain again. Actually, I did give a plus for the search feature. It's not just a search feature, it's actually a smart search. For example, earlier, if I searched for she, S-H-E, it would have been like, well, here's the things that contain S-H-E, including Shedungan. And I know that sounds like a minor thing, but trust me, that is a godsend in a game with as many, random nonsense fantasy names as this one does. That's also why I can search for Shedungant and not look for the whole thing exactly. So, yeah, I'm with that. That's a nice quality of life feature, plus the gameplay. It's also the only way the map is even, like, navigable, to be quite frank, but, yeah, whatever. Okay. Oh, neck. Alright, so who's ready to do the same dungeon again? Oh, never mind. This might actually be a different dungeon. Holy crap. Nope, same dungeon. Same dungeon. If J. Palmer here, I'll be like, behold the brickwork. Okay, so I want to show you something super quick, okay? Oop, hang on. Something wrong with it, but... there we go. So I just want to show you this really quick, okay? So here's how the dungeons actually look, right? Oh, no, this is a manual dungeon, isn't it? Is it? This might not be. I do not have mark or recall, no. So this, oh my god, look at the size of this place. Oh, this place is making me feel despair just looking at it. I think actually this isn't going to work because this is an MSQ dungeon. Nope, there's an example. I think. So, I just think this is interesting. That's the only reason I'm sharing this. So, you may or may not notice that some of these places, like this chunk over here, well, no. Yeah, no, this chunk right here doesn't connect to anything, right? See? It just goes up here and then that's it. So there's no way to get in or out. It turns out, and I did a little digging on this, that this is just how they do their dungeon. God, look at that nonsense. Look at it. This is how they do their dungeon generation. So they generate the chunks, right? And then each chunk is calculated to see where it can connect to each other. But it also generates plenty of chunks that cannot or do not connect anywhere. It still spawns them. They're still there, but they're not actually connected to anything. So they're not there, if that makes any sense. Like, for all intents and purposes, those parts of the dungeon might as well not exist. Oh, there's another example. You see that room that's just off to itself right in front of me? Yeah, they just take up RAM, exactly, because they just got generated. Anyways, let's unturn this. Oh, no! Okay, so, how to do this legit. Alright, so... This is gonna suck, by the way. We might be here the entire first shift. I'm not even sure what I'm going for. Enemies can spawn in them, so can loot, yes. Like I said, it's just chunks of dungeon that are generated. They just aren't connected to other chunks of dungeon. To my knowledge, quest items can't spawn out there, but then again, this is a pretty buggy game, so who knows. Have not had it happen yet, let's put it that way. Yeah, by the way, it makes sense of her outfit there for me. Like, I get that she's supposed to be kind of nude, but, like, if you actually look at where her belt is around her stomach. So, like, that doesn't make sense. I am level 3, Ben One Eye. Yeah, it's like a tabard belt thing. I don't know, it's weird. Okay, so I'm already tired of music. She probably does not have underwear on. That's a good point. Yeah, let's go something a little more atmospheric. She has symbolic clothes. They don't cover her. It's okay. She's Greek. She's a Greek deity, so she doesn't care about that kind of thing. That's the only thing. I'm not 100% sure what governs my level. Or even what my level matters. I guess level gets you HP. I think. Don't even quote me on that. I'm not even sure. Shoot, I'm actually a little turned around. Yes. Let's go ahead and dump all this stuff onto the wagon. Yep. No, I did not bend one night. I'll do it right now, just for you. Daggerfall. Leveling. Whoop, hello. No, actually being able to hit the wagon at the entrance is actually a nice feature, unironically. The wagon is such a good feature that, like, I'm weirded out that it's effectively optional. And that nothing anywhere indicates that it's a thing or how incredibly useful it is. Oh no, he silenced me. Listen, lady, I'm not going to say you have to put on some clothes, but for the love of God. Aren't you getting cold in here? Oh, hang on, hang on. That looked like Elven. That was Elven. I'll take it. Hello? You guys okay down there? Okay, cool. I'm gonna leave now. Let's get to a safe-ish area. Safe. Actually, can I rest? Oh, yeah, I can rest. Okay, so how do I level? Level is determined by sum of 3 primary skills, 2 highest major skills, and highest minor skill. Every time you level, you get 4 to 6 attribute points, increase your HP, and that's actually it. The actual max level in this game is 32. That takes time and effort. Interesting. Every skill in the game has a 6-hour in-game timer before it can be raised. You can also pay a trainer, but trainers only get you to 50%. Oh yeah, speaking of some... Oh my god, that's a zombie. That's a zombie. I've actually already talked to a trainer a little bit. So you notice my destruction's up to 51% now. Longblade is just lagging behind because I haven't found a good longsword yet. Restoration is at 33 because I haven't been using it at all. My major skills I haven't been touching because I don't have any spells or axes. My short blade is up to 40% just because I stab everything. Crit's up to... crit and running are both decently high, too. Try to heal again. I am wielding a dagger. Because it two-shots things. And I'm full. Ah, it did not take long. Well, let's head back to the wagon. God, how do I... Look, I need my gold, okay? I'll fill up my wagon at this point. Jeez Louise. I also saw there was a specific mod whose entire purpose is rebalancing the armor so that plate armor isn't mandatory. And I mentioned that because I'm guessing that plate armor is mandatory. If there's an entire mod whose only purpose is to make it so you don't have to wear it. Let's go up first. Lovely place. Lovely. There's so many torture implements in all these places. Like, I know life is cheap is literally, like, the thematic point of this setting, but good God. What am I looking for? I just realized I don't know what I'm looking for here. I guess I'm here to kill or loot something. I apparently have to talk to her. That's the goal. Find woman and talk to her. In Gargantuan Dungeon from Hell. Okay. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Okay. Hi. 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 Yes. Hi. Hello. Oop, oop. Oh, right. I actually did that earlier. Whoops. There, here's steal mode. I don't know what steal mode actually does. But we're now on steal mode. At least elven loot has started dropping. That's nice. Speaking of, where's those elven boots? There we go. Ooh, Elven Claymore. So I'm going to activate steal mode. Hi, Mr. Red. Ooh, a Mars bar. So where's that Claymore? There it is. This might actually increase my long blade skill. So... What? No. Ah, shoot. There we go. Okay, we're okay, we're okay. I have to stop looting at this point. Is that for galling? You have to start getting snooty. Anything below steel is no longer worth my time. Also, steel longsword. Okay. He is good, like, so we've heard about you. You sleep well for someone who's a murderer. Like, what? I haven't murdered anybody. I mean, I've killed just hundreds of people. This is very appropriate music for this place. Look, I'm just saying, Snake Eyes, I've murdered so many people. My hands are stained with blood. Like this guy's blood. Oh, hey, deja vu. Okay, let's go back. Whoa, there. I can't equip steel, right? Yeah, I can't equip steel. It's okay, I can equip Elven. Who needs steel? Ugh. Yeah, but I've decided to give negatives on a per dungeon basis. Speaking of, we should probably give this place a negative. I love giving dungeons negatives. Especially when they're this freaking place. You know, I don't actually know, Evo. It's not like dungeon design hadn't been invented yet. No, dungeon design was invented in the 80s. Okay, so we can go down there. Over there. It's actually a... Is it glitching again? It is glitching again. Wow. Oh, wow. Look at that. That is turbo glitching. Look at that. Huh. I wonder if the camera's literally dying. So, oh, that's interesting. It's affecting my mic, too.
Scrap that. You click on the video and you go to properties. And then basically the default setting is default. And if you have it in default, the option was 720p or 1080p. That is where I had the glitch in. So I'll see if I can just show you. I'll change it back to default. I
This is what I'm trying to deal with right now. I just got rid of that. It also occasionally interrupts the mic, I've noticed. Not always, because you can hear me right now, but sometimes it'll just disable the mic input. Let's get my backup webcam, which I have, and, just use that and test via that. Would anyone like to guess where my backup webcam is? I hate this goddamn move. I was actually just double checking myself to see if it's in this box right here. Of course it isn't. No reason for it to be. It's silly. Think? God, I think that works? Oh god, no, that's awful. Hang on. I cut out because I was switching resolutions. So, I don't think I'm actually cutting out. Let's see. Yeah, okay, let's try this. As soon as it finishes resolving. That looks bad. What in the world? I mean, I could just stream without the webcam for a while. That is obviously the final answer here. Oh, I see. Okay. As soon as it resets there, I think I have the beginnings of an idea of what's going on. Okay. Need to pull up my motherboard manual. So everyone on YouTube, well, I guess you've just skipped past it this far. So I guess I apologize to everyone who's live right now listening to this. You like the German manual? No, thank you. I actually still have my physical manual. Here. Smile. Oh, here we go. That's what I wanted. Okay. Hmm. Those are type A's. Those are all type A's. What's 9? Those are just difference. So I need it to be not blue. Okay. Let's see how this looks. So good news, bad news time, I suppose. So that didn't work. There is something I can do that seems to reduce the stuttering. There's this. Oh, no, that didn't fix it. Do I have to go even further down? That's not doing it either. Well, that's interesting. No, this is happening on Discord recently. Well, the quality's way down. But it looks like that got rid of the glitching. No, it's not just OBS. So, I'm not going to buy a new webcam. Because I have a spare webcam. And I'd rather test that than, you know, buy something new and it's actually an issue with the motherboard, right? So what I did was I lowered the resolution a lot. Like you'll notice it is the most glitchy by far. This is 1080p right here. However, if we go down to default, which is like 480p, it stops. Oh, nope, never mind, it's still there. Wow. You know what? We're just gonna leave it off. I don't know exactly what that is. I don't have a fix for it. That doesn't involve just buying a new webcam right now. So that sucks. Moving on. Here, I'll put Shido over here instead. I really hope that's not my motherboard. Because it could. Where's my spare? Well, right now, my spare's in another state. I think I mentioned this, but I've already I've already put in the request for the pods to be moved. They have left the state. They are in transit. When I say motherboard, what I actually mean is USB slot, to be very clear about that. I'm actually pulling up the loading thing right now. Maybe it'll even tell me exactly where it's at. I have tried every type of USB slot I have, yes. Yeah, Bethesda games. But yeah, I've tried basically every USB slot. The initial problems are showing up on my USB-C slot. And that alone makes me think it's probably the webcam. I mean, this isn't exactly a new webcam. But it's just... I wonder if they even have better webcams nowadays. Like, is that a thing? It's been years. Let's see, best overall. What do you got? Same frickin' webcam. Okay, for real. Surely they have better webcams by now. Surely, surely, surely. That's what I'm thinking too, Cycloud. And for the same reason. I actually looked into a real camera for a while there. That's a long story, but the long and the short of it is, I live in the United States, which means I'm unlikely to find a real camera that's worth a damn. I know that's a weird way to go with it, but it's true. There are different legal requirements for what is a camera in Europe versus here. And getting an honest-to-goodness camera here is unlikely. Okay, whatever. So, but yes, what I was just using was a stream cam. I'm kind of turned on. I had like a whole mental plan of action and everything, and then my camera was like, glitch, 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 glitch. I guess I could get out of uniform. Slowly strip off all my clothing. It's like reverse, what do you call that? Reverse strip donating or whatever. Basically, every single one of you has to donate, or else I start ripping off more clothing. If my mic is cutting out now in a way that it shouldn't be, then that is not good. Admittedly, I'm not staring at the mic reading constantly, so I'm not exactly sure if that's actually happening or not, so I'm kind of depending on you. So I'm just going to talk for a minute to see what happens and see if it kind of repeats itself as we're trying to find our way around here and blah, 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 blah. Let's go kill some people. Excuse me, ma'am, have you considered dying? You could put on some clothes. Nope, okay, she chose death. Ah! She chose lightning. That's a he. No he's allowed. Get out of here. Hammered it. Yeah, she has a lot of armor on for someone who's wearing a tabard. I'm pretty sure this is Mitsuda. So, here's the thing, TSB. If it's set to MJPEG, MJPEG, excuse me, it is guaranteed to glitch. MJPEG is mandatory for higher resolutions, which is why lowering the resolution helped a little bit. However, as I saw, it didn't 100% fix it. Which, once again, probably... Jesus, how am I supposed to get to this dude? You thought Skyrim invented the wall humping? Little did you know. Well, that's an interesting question, Push-Ups. Which I don't have an answer for off the top of my head. Ooh, a magic kimono. Yeah, my only attack spell is touch, by the way, so... Listen, it's all the same dungeon. Mr. Red doesn't believe me. It's all the same dungeon. Like, there's no other dungeons. There's the dungeon. Yeah, no, one of the next things I was going to do is show off spell creation. Then we got this quest. Sure, push-ups, I don't mind. I'm going to guess, just off the top of my head, they're using a Logitech Brio, which is what my backup webcam is. They might also be using the stream cam, which is what I was just using. They might also be using actual cameras, but again, there's some asterisky problems with that, because most cameras have this thing where they will overheat and cause issues if they're on for too long. So that only benefits people who are doing relatively short form stuff. So for example, most people on YouTube are using cameras with the video function, and they record a few minutes at a time. And like that's it. Like that's the limiter. So it doesn't work for when you're trying to stream for 5 hours at a time. Now you can get an honest to goodness camcorder. Those, by the way, cost about $10,000. Sorry. They used to cost that much. Then Brownie Boy decided to start adding tariffs, so who knows what they cost now. But, point being... It's probably a little out of my reach one way or the other. Especially since I just spent entirely too much money on getting those pods moved. Look, all things in moderation. That's all I'm saying, Mr. Red. Yeah, by the way, you want to see something funny? You can actually see it's just pictures of someone actually doing this with like a costume. Yeah, the Doom way, exactly. Well, I'm on the verge of death. So this sounds like a safe hallway to rest in. It was actually a safe hallway. I was surprised. This doesn't look right. I hate these dungeons so much. I just want you to know that in my deepest, darkest recesses of what's left of my heart, there's nothing but hatred for these dungeons. But now you open the door. There are 3 levers here. Okay, that opens this gate. Yeah, I'm pretty notoriously anti-Oblivion dungeons, because Oblivion dungeons are way too samey. Little did I know. Little did I understand. Why are all these people hostile? I've been wondering that. Like, in some cases, there's, like, some excuse for why they're hostile. Why are all these people trying to kill me? Like, there's no explanation given that I'm aware of. It's just, they're trying to kill you. I like it. Please open the door. Thanks! Stab, 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 stab. Alright, where the heck? Just... I'm going. Look, I'm just here to talk to someone peacefully, and y'all are like, stab, stab, stab. Testing, testing. We'll see if that fixes anything with the mic. I can't even right now. Yeah, thanks. I gained about 10 years. It will never stop amusing me that he is 10 years older than I am. I think like 9 now, but still. I actually have no opinion of James Gunn, like at all. That's true, he is also anime. So of course he looks like he's in his 20s. Maybe 30s. Mean. That would be a shame. I've been looking forward to a Morrowind review for a long time. And Skyrim, actually, for extremely different reasons. Because I don't anticipate either game will score well. For completely different reasons. It's good. Yeah, at this point, Damesless, I don't know. I don't know anything at this point. Yep, no. Up to 37% on a long play. Yeah, by the way, fun fact. If there is an issue with my mic, I have a spare mic. If you guess where it is, you get a cookie. Just handing out cookies here. Okay, so do I think that combat controls would count as bad even at the time? So obviously these are not terrible controls. I've seen worse, as the saying goes. Well, I've played worse recently. But yeah, I was actually going to ask, is there any relevance to the different directions? No, I know, Plutonia. Because I was actually thinking about this. Is there any significance whatsoever of the different swing directions? I've never heard of that, sir. I think you're on crack. South Korea does not understand single-player games. South Korea knows no single-player games. See, that's what I thought, Plutonia, but I wasn't sure about that. So, in other words, it's the same damn thing everything else is in this game. Completely pointless, and just there to add the simulacrum of depth. Like, it's the same... Really, that's the whole game. There's so much here. I don't think there is. You could swing in any direction. Whoa! Oh my god! Matters so much. Wait, seriously? The mic's just... Okay, hold on a second.